Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, he was homeless in Hawaii. Now he's independently wealthy in Texas. His story of going from tragic to magic is just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
So one of my favorite movies of all time is Rocky. Sylvester Stallone and Clubber Lang and Apollo Creed, and just, you know, facing your fears and just knocking it out. And when I think about that, I think about a man like James Bradford here. He is a self-made multimillionaire, and it wasn't too long ago that you were homeless in Hawaii.
Yep.
So tell us that story.
Oh, funny story. You know, I graduated high school. Tried college, wasn't really my thing. Always been a slow studier. Went to fire academy, finished my EMT and my fire, couldn't get a job. And then I ended up on a pipeline where I made the best money I've ever made in my life. Come from a lower middle class family, a lot of love, not a lot of money. And just hard work led me to that. And then we got laid off in 2008. And then that led me to Hawaii, because I Googled the best place to be a bum, to be poor. So Hawaii popped up as one of those top ones. I'm like, oh, Hawaii. I Googled a plane ticket, had just enough money in my bank account to buy one way. And I said, I'll figure it out when I get there. So I ended up under a bush under Diamond Head. And before the runners would start running, I would make sure I'd pack up my sleeping bag, and about 8 o'clock, I'd walk over to Starbucks and I'd be looking for opportunities on Craigslist.
Wow. But I think that, you know, not being born with a silver spoon in your mouth, coming from a background of middle class and experiencing homelessness at one point, really drives you, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. You know, I mean, when you don't have a lot, you know, some people use that to become victims about their circumstance. And you know, I've learned in business, you can't change people's thought process. I mean, maybe you can. I feel like I could run circles around a psychologist now, but you can't turn a duck into an eagle. That's what I like to say. And I think I was just born with it. I was just born where my parents are very, not pessimistic, but they're borderline optimistic and pessimistic. And they just think you just gotta, you know, success is for the lucky few. So I was always born to dream a little bit bigger and just to take a lot more risk.
Well, you're very inspiring. We found a great video. Let's go ahead and roll that clip now.
So prior to network marketing, I was actually a bag boy at a Four Seasons resort. I scrubbed golf clubs every day. I walked to work every single day, did not have a car. At 4 a.m., I'd start walking to work. I had to be there by 5. So when I found Kyani, transitioning from my last company, although I was a little nervous, after we started working and seeing how fast the duplication started, how many lives we were changing, and how much money new people were making, that's when I realized that I'm going to stand up for this company, I'm going to stand up for this industry. I recommend that everybody really goes online and digs for information, does their due diligence, and contacts someone in Kyani. Find somebody that's doing this business and get back with them and tell them that you want to be a part of this team. Kyani's different. We're different. The products are different. Everything about what we're doing is different. And everybody can have an opportunity. You know, thanks to network marketing, not only does it give me money, but it's given me time. I've moved into my dream apartment. You know, I have a high rise that overlooks the city of Dallas, a beautiful park. It's been amazing, but not only that, I've been able to provide for my family. That's been the true blessing, is giving back and providing financially for my family that's in need. My name's James Bradford. I'm a red diamond, and I live Kyani.
Wow, that is so inspiring. And you told me before the show that you had a vision board. What was on that vision board?
Yeah, I made a vision board at Four Seasons. Fortunately, after Hawaii, I got a job at Four Seasons Hotel in Dallas. I don't come from the country club life, but I have a tennis background, so that's what got me over there. I was teaching kids, also working in the golf, the bag room. But those members every day, they'd drive up in my dream cars, the ones I had on the wall, as a kid, and the dream home. But you know what they had, more importantly, was not all of them, but some had time and money. And I would interview these members a lot over those 3-year time, and they told me, James, you need a dream board. You got to have a vision. You have to have a mentor, and you have to have a white hot burning desire. And so first thing I did, I went and made a dream board. So I put an Armani suit on there, and I put promoting myself from Four Seasons employee to Four Seasons member. I put a yacht. I put a private jet on there. I put a Rolex watch. And I put an R8, which is a car, an Audi. And so that's what I put on that dream board.
Wow. And how important is that? Because we're in a pandemic. There's a lot of people unemployed watching this. And they say, gosh, I want that life. But gosh, how do I get it?
Yeah, well, I think, first of all, you just have to seek. You have to look, and if you're ambitious enough, you'll always find something. Now, the challenge is getting caught up in the quick things, the chasing the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and then looking for these fast fixes. And there is no really fast fix. You have to find what you're passionate about. I was passionate about health and nutrition at the time. It was relevant to me, so that's what I was looking for. I was looking for the mentorship and opportunities in that field. So I think people just need to look. If they ask questions, they look, and they just aren't victims.
Yeah.
And they look at the glass half full. I believe there's always going to be success around the corner.
Well, James, you inspire me because you're not resting on your laurels. You've had a lot of success, a lot of blessings, but you're constantly challenging yourself. You took a 90-day health challenge, and let's go ahead and put that on the screen so people know what we're talking about. Tell me your journey on the health front.
Well, I started working in this company, Kyani, which is a nutraceutical company. They're not so much geared on weight loss. They were geared on inflammation and just overall well-being. Mm-hmm. This is where I made my fortune here in this company. Anyway, as one of the leaders in this group that I've built organically from nothing, from homeless to this, I have to lead by example. And they launched this meal replacement, phenomenal meal replacement. And they said, we're going to start doing this 90-day challenge. And at the time, when I was pretty fit back in the day, and then as I started making money and just, you get it, overweight, 30% body fat at 5'8". So that's not very healthy. My blood work was fine, but I'm also young and, rightfully so. So I said, you know what, I've got to do this challenge and I have to win. And I need to lead by example. So I signed up for our company's 90-day challenge, and I didn't win the challenge, but I became one of the finalists. And
when you walked in, I was like, man, you are buff. So what drives you?
Man, I don't know. I don't know what drives me. I think I'm driven by challenge, mm-hmm. and I'm really driven by naysayers, people that say you can't do that because of XYZ. And I had my own parents tell me, oh, you can't do network marketing. I had people say, oh, I've tried one of those things before. They don't work. Only the people at the top make money. I've heard everything. But then it's funny, the bigger opinions, the negative opinions always had negative bank accounts, it seemed like.
Yes.
And the Four Seasons members were always, and they're the wealthier ones, they're like, hey, try it. What's the worst thing you can do? Mm-hmm. It doesn't work. You lose a few $100 in a little bit of time in your life. You should go out and try this, but try it with purpose and passion and being intentional. So, I built my success of the naysayers there just to prove them wrong. My best friend's an anesthesiologist, and he was violently opposed mm-hmm. of my as an entrepreneur, especially in the industry of direct sales and network marketing.
Well, talk about the importance of hanging around the right crowd, because sometimes even the people who love you the most can be the naysayers
Sure.
in your life. And so my favorite expression is, if you hang around 9 broke people, pretty soon you're number 10. So how important is it for you to find your tribe?
It is the X factor, I believe. And you're right. If you hang around 9, you'll be the 10th of whatever. So there's times where I even had to stop going on Sundays to have lunch with my mom and dad. They'd say, hey, how's business going? And, I wasn't always successful. For 6 years as an inspiring entrepreneur, I made like $100 profit. And, they're just beating me down, college and this, and you shouldn't have did that. And it was just so negative all the time. Sometimes we just got to distance ourselves from people that we love most. And listen, they're not trying to be facetious or rude. They love you. And that's what they know. That's what they think. And that's okay. But we have to be around the people that are going to be fruitful, that are going to lift us up and be encouraging, because that's what it takes.
Absolutely.
Because there is no easy path to success. Every entrepreneur that you've met that's done well financially, and everybody can define success however they want to, they've gone through the ups and downs. You can't introduce me to one person that hasn't gone through it.
We've been talking about facing your fears, and in America, the number one fear is public speaking, and the number two fear is death. You've become an amazing public speaker. Let's show some pictures of you on stage, because you speak to thousands, don't you?
Yeah, a lot of people.
What's that like? Have you always been a natural speaker?
No, one of my mentors, Jim Rohn, I listened to him. He said, the first time I got up, my mind sat back down, and it's so true. When I remember when I first started in Kyani, we had an event here in Dallas, about 50 people, and one of my sponsors got up to speak, and he did this awful presentation. I'm just sitting up there on the front row, like rubbing my head. I'm like, oh man, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. I'm gonna have to figure this out. But I believe I've never done any public speaking in my life. I'm an introvert by nature. I think I am. And neither is my family. I just got up there. I was genuine. I owned my mistakes. I told people, if I can do this, you can do it. And it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And I think that's just being genuine and transparent. I think that's what's really helped me along my way. I wasn't trying to be someone I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was just me.
So what do the next 50 years look like for you? Because you're a young man, and you certainly have achieved more success than most people would have in 3 lifetimes. But you got a lot of life left. What do you see for yourself?
I'm still trying to figure things out. I want to write a book eventually of just a book that's simple for people to not fall in certain traps that I have, taking bad advice, whether it's finances, investment opportunities, taxes, real estate, being in debt versus not. That's one thing. But right now, I'm just taking it one day at a time. I have a new journey now. It's CrossFit. Ever since my 90-day challenge, I had to get in some type of gym environment. I don't do good in a gym by myself. I need a good culture of people around me, which is being around the people, right? Yeah. To lift you up. A rising tide lifts all boats, is what I like to say. Yes. And so being around the CrossFit community, I loved the everything about it. And once again, naysayers, people get injured in CrossFit, not knowing that running is actually the #1 sport for injury. So it's just negative people once again. Yes. And since people had this negative perception about CrossFit, made me want to do it just to prove otherwise. So I've been going hard at it. I'm around the right people, the right coaches. Now my competitive juices are flowing. I want to eventually make it to the CrossFit Games. My goal is 2025. Wow. So I have the right people, the right methodology. I'm approaching it ego-free. And guess what? I'm a year in. I worked my ass off, and I've not been injured yet. So for all those people who say you get injured in CrossFit, well, maybe they get injured, but if you do anything the right way, if you do it the right way, you will always come out ahead.
Well, you're so inspiring, and the timing is perfect because we're coming up on New Year's resolutions. So that's your camera. Look right into the camera and talk to the viewer. What do you want to say to the people who have self-doubt or wonder if they could ever achieve what you've achieved?
Well, it doesn't matter the circumstance. It doesn't matter the government. It doesn't matter where you are. Obviously, my story is a testament to that. You can go homeless to multimillionaire. You really can. And I'm not saying multimillionaire is everything is the goal. It's not. It's freedom. I'm freedom driven. So pandemic or not, my best times have been during 2020. And we've seen a lot of people that have had this is their best year. And I believe that's all because of the mindset. If you have a mindset of glass half full, you're always going to be successful. But find an opportunity, find a mentor, and approach it with intention. If you do that, and you're patient, you're not trying to chase the gold at the end of the rainbow, success will come your way. It looks like I'm an overnight millionaire, but I'm 11 year overnight millionaire.
Wow.
So
I love it.
yeah.
So inspiring. We're going to end with the website of the company we've been talking about. Kyani.com is the website. James Bradford, thank you so much for coming on the show. You've really been such an inspiration.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you, Jeff. I
bet.
appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.